History of computers. Computers nowadays are an integral part of our life. You go to a shop, a bank, a hospital, or an office, there will be computers. Many people possess PCs, usually laptops. Directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly, we are seeking the support of computers in various forms. GPS in vehicles, swiping machine in shops, ATMs, weather forecast, online shopping, etc. are some of the examples. It became so deeply rooted in our daily life that an interruption in its service, especially internet, can upset the smooth flow of the world. Today, we can't imagine even a single day without computers. It shows how significant this machine is in our present time. So, an awareness regarding computers and internet is the need of the time. We can define computer in simple terms: a fast and accurate programmable electronic data processing device that receives input, stores, and manipulates data and provides output in a useful format. Now we will see the evolution of computers. Computers are named so because they make mathematical computations at fast speeds. As a result, the history of computing goes back at least 3000 years ago, when ancient civilizations were making great strides in arithmetic and mathematics. During the first half of the 17th century, there were very important advancements in the automation and simplification of arithmetic computation. John Napier invented logarithms to simplify difficult mathematical computations. The French mathematician Blaise Pascal spent most of his time working on a calculator called the Pascaline. In 1674, the German mathematician Gottfried Leibniz created a mechanical calculator called the Leibniz wheel. This wheel could perform addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, although not very well in all instances. Neither the Pascaline nor Leibniz wheel can be categorized as computers because they did not have memory where information could be stored and because they were not programmable. The first device that did satisfy these requirements was a loom developed in 1801 by Joseph Jacquard. Jacquard built his loom to automate the process of weaving rugs and clothing. It did this using punched cards that told the machine what pattern to weave. Jacquard's idea of punched cards was later used by computer companies like IBM to program software. Charles Babbage was a mathematical professor at Cambridge University who was interested in automated computation. In 1823, he introduced the difference engine, the largest and most sophisticated mechanical calculator of his time. Along with addition, subtraction, multiplication and division to 6 digits, the difference engine could also solve polynomial equations. It was never actually completed because the British government cut off funding for the project in 1842. This is Charles Babbage. After 1842, Babbage began to draw up plans for an analytical machine, a general-purpose programmable computing machine. Many people consider this to be the first true computer system, even though it only ever existed on paper. The analytical machine had all the same basic parts that modern computer systems have. While designing the analytical machine, Babbage noticed that he could perfect his difference engine by using 8,000 parts rather than 25,000 and could solve up to 20 digits instead of just 6. He drew schematics for a difference engine number 2 between 1847 and 1849. After 12 years spent trying to get his difference engine number 2 built, Babbage had to give up. The British government was not interested in funding the machine, and the technology to build the gears, cogs and levers for the machine did not exist in that time period. Babbage's plan for the difference engine and difference engine number 2 were hidden away after his death and finally resurfaced around 150 years after they had each been conceived. In 1991, a team of engineers at the Science Museum in London completed the calculating section of Babbage's difference engine. In 2002, the same museum created a full-fledged model of the difference engine number 2 that weighs 5 tons and has 8,000 parts. Miraculously, it worked just as Babbage had envisioned. In America, during the late 1800s, there were many immigrants pouring in from all over the world. Officials at the US Census Bureau estimated that it would take 10 to 12 years to do the 1890 census. By the time they finished, it would be 1900, and they would have to do the census all over again. The problem was that all of the calculations for the census were performed manually. To solve this problem, the US Census Bureau held a competition that called for proposals outlining a better way to do the census. The winner of the competition was Herman Hollerith, a statistician, who proposed that the use of automation machines would greatly reduce the time needed to do the census. He then designed and built programmable card processing machines that would read, tally, and sort data entered on punch cards. The census data was coded onto cards using a key punch. Then these cards were taken to a tabulator or sorter. This is Herman Hollerith, his punch card machine. Hollerith's machines were not all-purpose computers, but they were a step in that direction. They successfully completed the census in just 2 years. The 1880 census had taken 8 years to complete, and the population was 30% smaller then, which meant that automated processing was definitely more efficient for large-scale operations. Hollerith saw the potential in his tabulating and sorting machines, so he left the US Census Bureau to found the computer tabulating recording company. His punch card machines became national bestsellers, and in 1924, Hollerith's company changed its name to IBM, International Business Machine, after a series of mergers with other similar companies. The computer age was about to begin. IBM headquarters at New York. Thank you for listening.